Hey, now, Ms. Patton, I want to reorient you back to your testimony last week on Friday. Your testimony regarding your daughters, Tina and Melissa. What was the birth date, Melissa Wolfenbarger?
September 9th, 1977. Okay.
And what about Tina Patton?
March 28th, 1970.
Okay. And how long were you married to Carl Patton?
56 years, 6 months, and 8 days.
Did you continue to be married to Carl Patton after you provided the testimony against him?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And is he still living? Is he still alive, Carl Patton?
No, he passed away.
When did he pass away?
December 16th, 2024.
And what was his age?
He was 75.
And where was Carl Patton raised as a child?
Originally College Park and then Ellenwood.
Are you familiar with whether or not Carl Patton ever lived in Fulton County?
No. College Park was all I ever knew about. Is that Fulton County?
That's fine. Thank you.
Mr. Fawcett, forgive me for interrupting, but as promised, I'm going to stop for just a moment and let my court reporter and any lawyers that need to get attached to the Zoom. Looks like the podium's not cooperating. That didn't need to be on the record. You can go ahead now.
And when you first met Carl Patton, where were you living at?
I was living in Jonesboro, Riverdale.
And what about when the two of you first got married? Where were you living?
Ellenwood.
And what part of the state did you raise your two children?
Partially Clayton County, and then we moved to Stockbridge, and then moved to Locust Grove.
Did you ever visit Atlanta, the area of Atlanta when your daughters were growing up?
No, not really.
Now, you were testifying that Melissa, your daughter, had left a note for you. You recall that testimony?
Yes.
How often would she do that?
I think she left the note, I think it was only one time, but she left pictures multiple times.
Yeah. If you could just guesstimate, how many different occasions would you say she's done that?
I'd say about around 4 or 5.
Did you and Melissa ever talk on the telephone?
Yes,
How often did you do that?
pretty more frequent than when she would come. She would always call on the holidays or special days.
And besides just holidays in particular, would you talk just random phone calls with your daughter Melissa? Would that happen as well?
Yes.
So if we're looking at, say, any given month, how many times would you say if you could think back to that time, how many times during a given month would you say you talked to Melissa?
At least once.
Now, you were also testifying as to the defendant and Melissa living on the Brookline Street. You recall that?
Yes.
Do you recall if Melissa and the defendant lived anywhere else during that period?
Prior to living on Brookline, they lived on Washington Street in East Point, and then Adrian Drive in Stockbridge, and then Brookline.
Okay. And is it your testimony, to your recollection, Brookline would have been that last residence in that succession?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And these previous locations of Washington Street, did you ever visit your daughter and the defendant at either of those locations?
I visited one time on Washington Street.
And you were testifying to a court date in July, well, an incident that occurred in July of '98. Do you recall picking your daughter up from a location during that period?
When we went to court, the week before she went to court on that, me and her dad went and picked her up on Brookline Street, and then she come and stayed with us until she went to court.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. All this has been asked and answered.
I do recall this testimony, but I'm assuming that Mr. Fawcett is simply reorienting us, and I think that's fair for him to do briefly.
Thank you, Judge. When you arrived at that location, were her children present?
No,
Okay.
they were not.
Was there anyone else present besides Melissa at the residence when you picked her up?
Not that I recall.
And was that when your testimony is that yourself and Carl Patton took her to the courthouse? Is that your testimony?
I took her to the courthouse. Her dad didn't go with us. It was just me and Melissa.
And after that court date, when was the next time that you saw your daughter, Melissa?
The next time I saw her was when I went to see her when she was in the DeKalb County Jail for violation of probation.
And are you aware if she was ever released from custody during that period?
She was released from custody November 9th, and that's the last time I saw her.
Okay. How did you come to find out that she was released from custody on November 9th?
Myself and her father went to the court date. We were in court when she went in front of the judge.
Okay. Do you know if on that date your daughter was able to provide, Melissa was able to provide the court with any specific information about her health at that time?
She told them at that time, the judge, that she was pregnant.
Were you present in court at the time that she informed the judge of this?
Yes.
And was that the first time that you had heard Melissa discuss that?
Yes.
Okay. And after that statement in court that she was pregnant? Do you see Melissa again after that?
No, I did not.
Okay. Now, at any point, have you participated in any interviews for, say, podcasts in particular related to this homicide?
Yes, I have.
All right. As what is the most recent memory you have of a podcast that you might have participated in?
I don't understand what you're asking.
How recent have you done that?
It's been a couple years.
Okay. And if say Melissa's remains were identified in 2003, just pointing you back to that time period, how soon after that do you recall speaking with media or going on a podcast in particular?
It was years. I don't think we did the podcast until, I don't remember the date. I think around 2021.
Okay. And what sparked or initiated you appearing on podcasts? What was the purpose of that?
I went and trying to bring Melissa's case to the forefront because nothing was being done. The original detective had retired from the case, and I was having trouble finding out any information about what was being done.
Okay. Now, did you go on, say, one interview or podcast, or did you do multiple during that period?
We did, I think, total of 3 podcasts.
Okay. And did you participate in any other interviews besides, say, podcasts in particular, with any other media outlets?
Last year, I think there was one. I don't remember what it was. I know I did one. I just don't remember the name of it.
Okay. And have you been contacted in this year, the year 2025, have you been contacted by anyone related to any media outlets for this particular case?
Yes.
What medium contacted you?
I think it's Law and Crime, I think, or something along that line.
Okay.
I don't really remember
All right. And have you signed anything at this point related to any appearance that you may or may not do in the future connected with this homicide?
I did sign one last month, but I've since decided I'm not going to do it.
And what was that you signed?
It was an agreement to do the program, and not talk to anybody else.
Okay, so the program that's being created, you agreed to do that?
Yes.
All right. And how recent was that?
I signed it last month.
Have you had any other contact related to appearing specifically to speak about this particular homicide?
No.
And is it still your testimony that you and your husband requested law enforcement's assistance to locate your daughter, Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Is that still your testimony?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
You just answered some questions to Mr. Fawcett regarding places you'd lived while the children were growing up and things of that nature. Didn't you also live in DeKalb County for a while?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And was that before you moved? It was before you moved to Locust Grove, right?
Yes, that was before, in between Ellenwood and Stockbridge.
Okay. And the daughters lived with you at that time too, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay. There was some testimony on Friday regarding comparisons between Tina and Melissa.
Right.
I think you say Tina, is that correct?
It's Tina. Yes.
That Tina was more of a daddy's girl,
Yes.
robust and rebellious,
Yes.
hard-headed maybe,
Yes.
and Melissa was more of your baby.
Yeah.
She was soft, shy,
Yes.
quiet. So they were very much opposites as far as sisters,
Pretty much.
girls go. You've been speaking about Melissa's case for many years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You've told your stories many, many times, haven't you?
Yes.
You've done police interviews, correct?
Yes.
And as you've just discussed, podcasts.
Yes.
You've spoken at true crime conferences. Is that correct?
Crime and con.
And you've done media interviews.
A few.
You've been asked many, many times, when did you first feel that something was wrong with Melissa? Haven't you?
When she didn't call or come to see me on Christmas Day, 1998.
And you knew in your gut something was wrong at that moment.
Yes.
And Melissa didn't have a phone.
No, sir.
She didn't have a landline.
No,
She didn't have
sir.
any way to contact her.
Right.
So when you got worried enough, all you could do was drive up and check on her.
Right.
So you did go drive up and check on her.
We did, but not until after my birthday.
And Carl went with you, right?
Yes.
And you just testified that Carl had grown up in College Park.
Right.
And that's kind of down near the airport, right?
Right.
And also in East Point. Is that right?
I'm not sure about East Point.
Didn't his grandfather have a house on Main Street in College Park?
I do not know.
But he knew the area in general, didn't he?
I would assume so.
When Melissa didn't call you on your birthday, as you said, you and Carl drove up to Brookline Street to their house, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
And you and Carl went together. You found their house empty. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you talked to the neighbors.
Carl talked to the neighbor.
Carl talked to the neighbors. And when I say you in that context, I mean you and Carl collectively. And Carl apparently learned from those people at the same time that Chris had moved out around Christmas,
Yes, sir.
and that he had worked at Action Glass around the corner
Yes, sir.
on Avon Avenue.
Yes.
Do you remember talking to Detective Shepard in 2021
Yes, sir.
as part of getting the investigation of this case re-going again?
Yes.
And do you remember telling Detective Shepard at that time that it wasn't until late 1999 or early 2000 until you went up there?
I really don't remember.
If I were to show you a transcript of that interview, would it refresh your memory?
Possibly.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I apologize for the fine print. I hope your glasses can read that. But you can start here and you can read the highlighted portion.
That's just like he says that Carl.
I'm sorry.
No.
Read to yourself. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Read to
I'm
yourself
sorry.
and see if that refreshes your memory. refresh your memory of talking with Detective Shepard?
Yes, sir.
And you told Shepard at that time that you didn't know where Christopher worked until 1999 or early 2000, correct?
Correct.
And every time you went up there looking, you got told Chris worked somewhere else.
Right.
But you testified on Friday and here this morning specifically that you guys actually went up there in February of 1999, correct?
Correct.
And that was 2 months before Melissa's remains were found, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you remember appearing or speaking or giving an interview for Cheryl McCollum's podcasts?
Yes.
And do you remember on one of those podcasts, you said that you'd never even, when you heard the news story of a human head discovered on Avon Avenue, you'd never even heard of Avon Avenue and didn't know where Christopher worked.
I did not know the name of the road that Action Glass was on. I only knew Action Glass. I did not associate Avon Avenue with that because, to my recollection, as I traveled around 285, there was an Avon Avenue off 285. So that's where I thought Avon Avenue was.
I see.
I did not make the connection to Avon Avenue and Action Glass until 2003 when Calhoun took me to the location.
Okay.
That's when I connected the two places.
And you're testifying that you believe there's an Avon Avenue exit on 285.
There used to be I don't know that it was Avon exit, but there was, Avon was listed at an exit.
Okay. Do you remember doing a podcast with Ms. McCollum and Karen Greer called CSI Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember that in yet another version of this story, you said that it was after Christmas that you and Carl went up there and found the house empty?
I don't recall that.
Okay. Do you deny saying that?
No, I don't. I don't deny it. I just don't recall it.
Okay. Do you recall being interviewed by Detective Calhoun in 2003, which I understand is a long time ago?
Yes.
I can't remember where I parked sometime on the same day. So you told him that when you got worried after your birthday, you went to Christopher's mother's house.
I did not go. When I went to Kathy's house, I caught her coming out. I don't remember the exact date or even what month it was, but I was riding by her house, saw her getting out of the car, and I pulled in there and asked her where Melissa was.
Okay. And that was after she had been identified or before? Obviously it was before.
This was back in 1999.
Okay.
When she was missing.
In all your interviews, however, you've been very consistent and made it very clear that on one thing, and that is that you despised Christopher from the very first time you saw him. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
You said that you didn't like the way his eyes looked.
Right.
You've said in podcasts that you just saw meanness in his eyes.
As my mother would say, that's...
The very first time you met him, and he would have been about, what, 15 years old?
Somewhere around there.
Maybe even a little bit younger?
Older, maybe.
Maybe a little older?
Because I believe he was driving at that point.
When he first started dating Melissa, you had him arrested at your house many times, didn't you?
I did.
Reported him as trespassing.
Yes.
How many times would you say? 8? 10?
I don't know.
You did
wouldn't
everything.
make a guess.
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't make a guess.
Okay. You did everything you could to prevent them from dating, though, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You moved her. You moved her to a separate location for a while, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You isolated her. You tried to prevent her from leaving your house. correct?
Correct.
You tried to make her take birth control.
I did make her take birth control. I thought I was making her take.
As you testified on Friday, she was pretending to take it and not taking it.
Right.
You remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that the reason the birth control didn't work was because you brought her back out of hiding too soon before it had time to take effect.
Yes.
Okay. But you testified on Friday that what actually was going on, as we just discussed, was that she was pretending to take it but not really taking it.
Right.
And doesn't that indicate that she was okay with getting pregnant?
Yes.
As you see it, Christopher took her away from you, right?
Right.
And you've never forgiven him for that, have you?
No.
And you worked even while they were married to get her away from him, didn't you?
No. How did I do that?
Your daughter Tina also joined you in trying to get her away from Chris while they were married.
I don't know how to answer that. I didn't do anything.
Well, if you say, I don't know. If you don't know, you don't know, right? That's fine. When was the first time you remember Melissa running away from home? Now, I'm not asking you why she ran away. I'm just remember, when was the first time you remember her running away from home?
When she met Chris.
And you always reported her as a runaway, correct?
I did.
And Carl always spanked her when she came home from running away, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Do you recall an episode where Melissa found a dead baby in a clothes hamper in your house?
Yes.
Wasn't your daughter Tina prosecuted for that?
Yes, she was.
I'm going to object. Grounds of relevance.
So that second question, I'm going to sustain your objection, but the first question is overruled. Go ahead, Mr. McDermott.
Wasn't it Melissa that found that baby?
Yes.
And was that around 1992?
1991.
91. And Melissa would have been 14 years old at that time, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, as you discussed, I think earlier in your testimony, you're aware that Melissa turned over temporary custody of her children to Christopher's parents in 1996.
Yes.
Mr. Fawcett, and you presented us with a letter on Friday that Melissa, you say, wrote to you before that.
Yes.
And have you read this letter?
Yes.
And in this letter, she states that that she's pregnant with Joey at the time, right?
Yes.
And she was anticipating that you might be upset about that. Is that fair to say?
I didn't think so.
You didn't think she was anticipating that? I'm assuming I have to ask her.
No, you do not. Thank you.
Can you read this line here just to yourself? And this line, if you will, please. Was Melissa anticipating you being angry with her for being pregnant again?
Yes, she was.
And is it your understanding from this letter that Melissa was expecting to have her tubes tied after this?
I don't know. I don't recall seeing that in that letter.
Okay, let's try it. Sorry. I'm sorry, read the underlined portions here. I'm sorry for the difficulty.
It's in there, but that's not something we discussed.
So did Melissa write to you saying that this was her last child and she expected to have her tubes tied afterwards?
Yes.
Okay. So when Melissa told a judge in October, November, I guess it was November of 1998, that she was pregnant. Did you
Yes.
believe she was pregnant at the time?
I did not know.
Did she look pregnant at the time?
I don't think so.
Okay. And would telling a judge that you're pregnant be something someone in her position might have done to try to get leniency from the judge?
Speculation.
Don't answer that and sustained.
Okay. After you went up to Brookline Street and got her in July of '98, you took her to courthouse to help regain custody of her children. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. The date of the Brookline incident was July 21st,
yes,
and then you took her to the Fulton County Court on the next day, which was the 22nd. Is that correct?
no, sir. It didn't go. We didn't have to go to Fulton County to do that.
No.
Because-
I'm sorry. I did confuse, and I want to be clear. So step back from the probate court question for a moment. But after the incident on Brookline Street, didn't you take her to the Fulton County Court to file a report, to file for a TPO?
No, sir.
Okay. So how did Melissa did she spend a few days with you after that? You picked her up on Brookline Street?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And how did she get down to your place?
We picked her up on July the 21st.
So she rode to your place with you.
Yes.
Did she have a car?
No.
Not at that time. So when she went to the probate court in Henry County to deal with the matter of the children, you took her there?
Yes.
Okay. And so you were with her. You were right alongside her when she filed that application. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you remember speaking with Detective Shepard about this issue?
No, I don't.
Do you remember showing him the documents that you had filed in order to get the children back?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember telling him at that point that your understanding of how it worked with temporary guardianship was all you had to say was, I want my kids back?
Right.
Okay. And then the court would give them back to you
Right.
from the temporary guardian. Was that also, do you know at the time, was that also Melissa's understanding?
Yes.
Okay. So did she file the I want my kids back papers?
Yes.
And she was with you?
Yes.
And did you go get physical custody of the children?
Yes.
Did you have the children physically, not with you at that time, but with you in your house at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And she was away from Chris, right?
Yes.
Okay. But she got a court date at the end of that week, right?
Yes, she did.
Okay. And you've already discussed about how you went to that court date, and Christopher asked if he could speak to her alone, I think were
Yes.
your words?
Yes.
And the judge allowed that.
Yes.
And when you say that he spoke to her alone, did they go into a private room somewhere?
Yes, they did.
They did. The judge allowed them to go to just those two into a private room.
Yes.
Okay. And when they came out, she had all that in her favor already. Her kids back, her legal papers back, with you, and the kids with you.
Yes.
And she chose Chris.
Yes.
And that was on July 29th, 1998.
Yes.
And after that, sometime after that, didn't she and Chris turn over permanent custody
Yes.
to Christopher's parents?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what date that was?
July 29th.
The exact same day.
Yes.
So they drove from Fulton County Court straight to Henry County Court
Yes.
and made that permanent.
Yes.
Okay. You stated that when you saw Melissa in the summer of 1998, she was wearing long sleeves and blue jeans.
Yes.
And it was in the middle of July.
Yes.
And you stated you didn't observe any bruises at that time because she had long sleeves and blue jeans on.
Right.
In fact, when you talked to Detective Calhoun originally in 2003, You never even mentioned anything about scrapes or bruises at all, did you?
I don't believe I did.
You never mentioned anything about her being drug on the sidewalk, did you?
I don't recall.
Fair enough. And you've testified here that Melissa was in fact rearrested in October of 1998. Is that correct?
It was before October 98. She was in DeKalb County Jail in September of 1998 on her birthday.
In September?
Yes.
Okay.
And she did not go to court until November.
Okay. Do you remember why she had been arrested?
Violation of probation.
And do you remember how she had violated her probation?
To my understanding, she left Chris again after July, that she left him again in August.
If I told you it was because of her not taking GED classes and not performing community service according to the terms of her probation, would that sound correct to you?
I do not know.
Okay. And so according to you, she spent from her birthday, sometime around her birthday, until early November in jail.
Yes,
So you're saying she was in jail for 60 days, or roughly 60 days, 2 months?
roughly, yeah.
Okay. And when she was let out of jail, was her sentence done at that point, or did they leave her terms of probation in place?
They reinstated her probation.
Okay. And one of the terms of that probation would be that she has to check in regularly with the probation officer. Is that right?
I would assume so, yes.
And are you aware that Melissa quit contacting her parole officer after December 10th of 1998?
I do not know.
Are you aware that she never reported in person to the probation officer after the days she was let out of jail?
I'm unaware. I do not know.
Now, you've mentioned that your husband, Carl Patton, eventually confessed to murdering 5 people. Is that correct?
Yes.
And for one of his victims,
Can I get a drink of water?
can we get some? Oh,
Yes. Thank you.
you trust me, don't you?
Could you open it for me?
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hilton. Thank you, Mr. Wolfenbarger. Mr. McDermott.
Thank you. You're welcome. For one of Carl's victims, did he try to approach?
Sure. Go ahead, Mr. McDermott.
So I'm going to back up a little bit. Just generally speaking, were you involved with some of Mr. Patton's murders?
I helped him dispose of the bodies.
Okay. So you were involved?
Yes.
Okay. And did you, for some of the murders, you were not involved, is that correct?
That's correct.
But you overheard Carl making plans for them.
Yes.
And you testified about this under oath in Fayette County in 2023, is that correct? I'm sorry, I made the mistake so many people have so far. In 2003.
Correct.
Yeah, got it. So, and you testified at some length about the details that you knew of his murders.
I answered all the questions that they asked, yes.
Okay. How long would you? Actually, let's do that. Just a moment, Your Honor.
Sure. Yes.
Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes,
And you could say who that is?
that is me.
Well, you don't have to say it yet. I'm just asking.
No,
And can
yes,
you say, do you know, you will be able to say what the occasion was for that?
yes.
And who was it in that photograph?
It was me.
And when was that?
In Fayette County when I testified against Carl.
Your Honor, I request to move this into evidence.
Does it have an exhibit number?
Defense 6, please.
Defense 6, Mr. Fussett?
No objection.
Okay, defense 6 is admitted. Go ahead.
Published to the jury.
Sure.
How long would you say that you testified on that day?
I don't recall the length of time.
15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Probably 15.
Okay. So you were aware of several of the details of Carl Patton's murders.
Yes,
And for one of those murders, did he try to stage the crime scene to look like an accident?
yes,
And did he have an accomplice who was his high school best friend?
yes,
And did Carl at some point suspect that his accomplice was telling people about the murder?
yes,
And at that point, did Carl decide to kill that person too?
yes,
And did he also decide to kill that person's girlfriend?
yes,
So it's true that Carl killed some of his victims just because he was afraid they were telling people
yes,
that they knew too much.
yes,
For some of his murders, was it true that Carl wrapped up the bodies in bags?
I do not know.
You testified, as I asked a while ago, that you overheard Carl making plans for one of the murders.
Yes,
Did those plans involve him killing people for money?
I would assume so, yes,
Insurance money?
yes,
Was that the first time you had heard him talk about killing someone?
yes,
And what did you think at that moment? Did you think, I should get out of this house?
no,
Did you think that was a red flag about your husband?
I loved my husband.
And you didn't go directly to the police when you overheard your husband discussing murdering somebody?
No, I did not.
You, in fact, helped Carl plan the killing of Joe and Liddy, didn't you?
Yes,
And after he killed them, where did he kill them at?
in our living room.
And were any of your daughters home when this happened?
No,
Sorry.
That wasn't open.
Nope, that was me clearing my throat. I apologize.
Didn't you testify in 2003 that Melissa was in her room?
I don't recall.
Was anyone else in the house at the time?
Yes,
Who was that?
his father.
Carl's father?
Yes,
And was he awake?
I don't know.
Didn't you previously testify that he was passed out drunk on the couch?
Probably.
Yeah. Was that a habit of his?
Yes,
Was he an alcoholic?
yes,
Okay. And did you help Carl dispose of those bodies that you killed in your house?
yes.
And just briefly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but how did you do that?
I don't understand how to answer that question.
How were those bodies disposed of?
They were in sleeping bags, and we took them to where they were thrown into the water.
So you drove one of them to the Flint River, correct?
Yes.
And how far was that from your house at the time?
I don't know, probably 25 miles.
Okay. And you took the other one to the Ocmulgee River, is that correct?
Correct.
And how far was that from your house?
I don't recall. I don't know.
And if you had this much involvement with your husband, why weren't you prosecuted also?
I was given immunity for my testimony against him.
Okay. And you, in fact, asked for immunity, didn't you?
Well, yes.
Okay. So you ended up serving a year of probation, is that correct?
That's correct.
Carl was especially upset with Liddy, wasn't he?
Yes.
As he saw it was her loose tongue that caused him to have to kill his best friend.
Yes.
And did he cut the midsection out of her pants
I have no idea.
after he killed her?
I have no idea.
Okay. Were all of Carl's victims and your victims, were they either close friends or family members?
Family members.
Okay.
I don't, cause Pete was a close friend, Liddy not so much.
Okay. Who was Wendy Archer?
My best friend's daughter.
Okay. And did she come over to your house?
When
During the time Melissa lived with you?
they were younger growing up, yes.
Okay. Did they spend a lot of time together?
Yes.
And were they locked in a room together?
No.
Okay. Does the name Martin Eric Jackson mean anything to you?
Yes.
Who was Martin?
He was, his mother was common law wife to Fred.
And who was Fred?
Fred was Carl's uncle.
Okay. Was he one of Carl's victims also?
Yes.
Was Mr. White a drug dealer?
Yes.
Okay. Did Martin visit your house?
Eric? Yes.
Did you call him by his middle name?
I'm going to object again on relevance grounds. It simply doesn't have anything to do with the determination for the court.
I'll answer that, but we should probably approach.
Yep, why don't you do that? Mr. Fawcett? The objection's going to be overruled. Mr. McDermott, if you want to rephrase your question, please.
First of all, was it my understanding that you referred to him as Eric?
Right.
Okay. And did was Eric someone who was frequently visited your house?
On several occasions, yes.
Was he friends with Carl?
I don't know that you would call him friend. He was Fred Wyatt's stepson
Okay.
through common law marriage.
Okay. And at some point, did Melissa say anything to you about making a complaint against Mr. Jackson?
Yes,
And what was that?
it was that he molested her.
Okay. And how old was she when she made that claim?
I think it was right before her 9th birthday.
Is that when she told you, or is that when she said it happened, or was that the same?
It was when we found out. That's when she told us.
Okay. And did you go to the police with that?
Yes.
And was Mr. Jackson indicted for that?
No, he was not.
And, okay. So there was no prosecution for that?
Right.
Wasn't Mr. Jackson also the son of Richard Russell Jackson?
Yes.
And who was Richard Russell Jackson?
He was a friend of Fred.
And was he also one of Carl Patton's victims?
Yes.
And during the time that Eric Jackson came to your house and associated with your family, did he know that Carl had killed his father?
No.
When did he find out?
Probably not until 2003.
So Carl continued leading him on as a friend or family member.
Yes.
Now, Carl, because of his crimes, we've heard already, he was convicted, correct?
Correct.
And he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences.
Yes.
And I believe on the 5th one, the judge said, kind of, what's the point? We'll just make this one concurrent, right? And even though Carl had multiple life sentences in jail, he was still technically, or at least as far as you guys understood, eligible for parole, wasn't
Yes.
he? And you firmly expected and planned that Carl would be paroled.
Yes.
And you actually thought that was going to happen soon, didn't you?
I hoped.
In 2021, you told investigators in an interview, correct me if I'm wrong, that the only reason Carl had not been paroled already was because his son-in-law had a criminal record and was on probation. Is that correct?
Probably, yes.
If I were to show you a transcript of that interview, would it refresh your memory? Apologizing for the small print.
Okay.
So you told Shepard in that interview that you believed as soon as Christopher got put in jail, you think Carl would get to come back home to you, correct?
That's what I'd hoped, yes.
But that's also what you told him.
Yes.
Right. And you worked tirelessly for years trying to get Christopher arrested, didn't you?
Yes.
You've done podcasts.
Yes.
You've done crime conventions.
Yes.
And you've repeated these sentiments about parole on Cheryl McCollum's podcasts, haven't you?
Yes.
And wasn't Cheryl, in fact, actively advocating for Carl to get parole
Yes.
in exchange for him giving her details about his life to write a book about?
Yes.
And did Carl and Miss Collum, do you know, carry on an active correspondence?
Yes.
How long did that go on?
Several years.
Did you read those letters?
Some of them.
Did he talk about thank you for helping me in parole? Do you remember that?
Yes.
And that appears in many of his letters, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you knew something was wrong with Melissa at Christmas, why did you wait almost 60 days before you went up to check on her?
Because I had to convince her daddy that something was wrong.
Do you drive?
Yes.
Do you have a car at the time?
Yes.
Why didn't you go by yourself?
Because I didn't want to go to Atlanta by myself. He kept telling me that she's going to call today, you know, and giving her more time because she didn't have access to a phone like I had access to a phone.
She worked at Waffle House, didn't she?
Yes.
And she could have called you from Waffle House?
I don't know.
She spent time at
she had never called me from Waffle House, so I'm not sure when she worked at Waffle House.
I see.
The time frame of when she worked.
You went up to Brookline after your birthday.
Yes.
Found nothing. Why didn't you report her then?
I tried to,
To Atlanta.
but yes.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun in 2003 that one reason that you didn't report her is because you had had another daughter that left for a long time without contacting you?
And
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. But you just testified earlier that these two daughters were absolutely different.
Right. But
She wasn't? Go ahead.
The situation was the same.
Right.
They were both over 18. I was always told that because she was over 18, she could come and go as she pleased. And the same thing applied to Melissa. The only difference between Melissa was she was married, which made it more difficult, and she didn't live with me.
But we're talking about their personalities.
Right.
Your reason to Detective Calhoun was you didn't go check on Melissa for a long time because Tina never called you back for a long time. And in fact, Tina had left her children with you, hadn't she?
Yes.
But Melissa was an entirely different personality like that. You said
Yes.
she's not bullheaded and rebellious and self-willed like that. She's a mama's girl.
Right.
So why would you assume that she's going to act like Tina acted?
I did not assume. I knew that she would call me.
Okay. You said that after your birthday, you started listening to news reports.
Yes.
Do you remember speaking on Miss McCollum's podcast saying if they said anything about a body being found anywhere, you would listen?
Yes.
By the time of your birthday, you had not heard from Melissa for about roughly 3 months, 2 months to 3 months. Was that correct?
Correct.
What made you think in that short time frame that there would be a body involved?
I did not know. I just listened to the news, and because I had not heard from Melissa, I was worried.
You said the last time you spoke to Melissa, she asked for a very unique, sentimental Christmas present.
When she was in,
Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. And that present was a picture of her pawpaw.
of her with her papa.
Her with her pawpaw. And that was Carl Patton's father, correct?
Yes.
Is that the same father that was the alcoholic passed out on the couch?
Yes.
No further questions.
Mr. Fawcett?
And Ms. Patton, you were just testifying as to your hope that Carl Patton would at some point parole.
Right.
And that's after you testified against him in court. Is that also correct?
Correct.
How long did you testify against your husband? Is that over the course of a day, 2 days?
It was all one day.
And when you testified against your husband, did you actually implicate him in the murders themselves?
Yes.
And how many different murders did you implicate your husband involved during the course of your testimony?
The last two are the only two that I witnessed.
Okay. And at any point, what was your relationship like with your husband after you testified against him?
I went to see him on a regular basis.
You continued, it was your intent to continue to stay married after his conviction?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, did he continue to look at you as his wife and you, and you as his wife?
Yes.
Was there any animosity or anger as a result of the, your action of testifying against your husband?
No.
And why not?
Because he wanted me to do what I did and testify against him so that I would be able to raise my two grandkids that I had custody of.
Did you actually discuss it? Did he know that you were going to testify against him before it was offered?
Yes, he told me to.
And did Carl Patton keep up with the status of the criminal case, the case involving the disappearance and murder of his daughter, Melissa?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because he wrote to Cheryl McCollum.
Is that something that you discussed with Carl Patton throughout the years?
Pretty much, yes.
And as you start to make contact with Detective Shepard in 2021, do you also keep Carl Patton informed of those discussions as well?
Yes.
What about at the point when this case is indicted in 2024? Do you discuss that with Carl Patton?
Yes.
And can you describe his reaction? How did the news of the indictment of this defendant for the murder of your daughter, how was that received?
He was very happy.
Why would you say that?
Well, because Chris was going to have to face up to what he did.
And to the best of your knowledge, was that the feelings of Carl Patton at the time of his death?
Yes.
Now, your testimony as to the specifics of the Flint River homicides, did any of those homicides involve dismemberment?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, did any of those homicides involve the use of a circular saw?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, they don't?
Right.
That's all I have, Judge.
Anything else, Mr. McDermott?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Patton. You may step down. The witness can be excused, Mr. Fassett.
No objection.
Mr. McDermott?
No objection.
Okay, you are excused as a witness, Ms. Patton. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a lunch break while we're in between witnesses. It is 1:05. I'm going to try and get us back in here as close to 2 o'clock as I can. So we are excused for lunch. Thank you. First, I want to apologize for all the throat clearing. I picked up a case of the sniffles at my house over the weekend. So, but there were two objections where the parties approached, and I just want to make a quick record of that. Number one, excuse me, Mr. Fassett, on behalf of the state, objected regarding a line of questioning about Mr. Patton's crimes. And Mr. Fassett's objection was based on the court's prior in limine ruling. I communicated to the parties at the bench that to the extent that the questioning was limited to matters about which Ms. Patton had direct knowledge and involvement, that was, I thought was relevant and not overly prejudicial, but that we were going to stay away from sort of gratuitous discussion of the specific details of the alleged crimes as they were committed by Mr. Patton. And that was the nature of that discussion at the bench. And then additionally, there was an objection regarding the relevance of a person whose name I can't remember, but his presence in the house, who is an alleged child molester or had committed an act of molestation against Melissa. I also overruled that one from the state in terms of its relevance. Any other record you want to make on those issues, Mr. Fassett, on behalf of the state?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McDermott?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I would just like to revisit one issue, Mr. McDermott, and it's that I did sustain one objection we didn't approach, but there was an objection regarding the baby that was found in the house. And I believe my pretrial ruling was that we weren't going to go into any prosecution of Tina Patton. And your question, although I did say that the fact of that occurrence I thought was relevant, and your question was either a compound question or two questions in a row, but the second question, which I sustained the objection, was regarding whether or not Tina Patton was prosecuted for that. So just a reminder that my recollection, and if the transcript doesn't bear that out, then I will be corrected. But my recollection of the nature of my ruling was that whether she was prosecuted for it or not was not really relevant to the issue, and that we weren't going to go into that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else the parties want the court to address before we adjourn for lunch?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we are adjourned for lunch. I'll see you at 2.